Alright, let's talk about the most legendary post-apocalyptic machine on for wheels, the Pursuit Special, the V8 Interceptor from Mad Max. You know the one. Black, mean, and with a supercharger that looks like it could swallow a small child. But what is this beast, really? And is it as insane as it looks on screen? Let's dive in. Welcome to Nobody Drives. Like, subscribe, and comment for more. Let's start. The story starts not in a dystopian wasteland, but down under in Australia. The Interceptor began its life as a 1973 Ford Falcon XB GT coupe. Now, if you're not from Australia, you might not realize how big a deal this car is. This was the peak of Aussie muscle. The XB GT was a proper V8 powered, rear-wheel drive beast straight from the factory. It was the Australian equivalent of a Mustang or a Camaro, but with a uniquely aggressive, boxy charm. These cars were icons long before Hollywood got its hands on one. They were born and bred for the wide-open roads of the outback, making them the perfect foundation for a high-speed pursuit vehicle. So when the Mad Max production team needed a car for their hero, the Falcon XB was a natural, almost patriotic choice. But a standard Falcon GT wasn't going to cut it for the end of the world. They needed something that screamed, "Get out of my way." This is where the movie magic and a whole lot of creative genius comes in. The first Mad Max was made on a shoestring budget. We're talking pennies. They didn't have millions for a fleet of custom cars. They had one car and they had to make it count. The job of transforming the Falcon fell to a talented team, including a guy named Murray Smith, who sourced the car, and the film's art director John Dowding. They needed to create a vehicle that looked both functional and utterly terrifying. The most obvious change was that massive, aggressive nose cone known as the Concorde front end. It wasn't an off-the-shelf part, it was a custom fiberglass piece that completely changed the car's personality. It made the Falcon look like a shark ready to devour the asphalt. Then came the roof and trunk spoilers, the flared wheel arches to house those fat tires, and of course, the signature all-black paint job. This wasn't just any black paint, it was a menacing gloss that made the car look like a shadow, a ghost on the highway. It was pure intimidation on wheels. And now, we have to talk about the elephant in the engine bay, the supercharger. That massive wine blower sticking out of the hood is probably the car's most famous feature. In the movie, the mechanic famously tells Max she's the last of the V8 South, and then points out the supercharger, which can be turned on and off with a switch. A supercharger you can just switch on and off? Well, here's the secret. In the first movie, it was completely fake. A total sham. The production was so low budget that they couldn't afford a real, functional supercharger setup. What you see is basically a glorified electric motor spinning the belt and pulley for the camera. The rumbling, whining sound, all added in post-production. It was pure cinematic trickery, designed to look cool and sell the idea of this ultimate, overpowered machine. And boy, did it work! Nobody cared that it was fake. It looked incredible. The visual of that belt spinning up on command became an iconic movie moment. The amazing part is how this low-budget legend became a global icon. The first Mad Max was a raw, gritty, indie film that nobody expected to blow up the way it did. And the car was a huge part of its success. It wasn't just a prop, it was a character. It represented the last sliver of civilization, the last piece of high-performance technology in a world falling apart. When Max gets behind the wheel of the Interceptor, it's a turning point. He's no longer just a cop, he's an avenging angel and a blacked-out war machine. The car perfectly symbolized his descent into madness and his quest for revenge. After the first film wrapped, the producers thought they were done with it. Believe it or not, they struggled to sell the car. Can you imagine? Today, it would be worth millions at auction, but back then, they put it up for sale, and a guy bought it, planning to use the parts. Thankfully, when the sequel, Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, was greenlit, the producers had to track the car down and buy it back. This time, they had a slightly bigger budget. So, for the Road Warrior, the Interceptor got a serious makeover. The pristine, gloss black machine from the first film was gone. In its place was a battered, dusty, and far more post-apocalyptic version. It was given a matte black finish. The rear window and trunk lid were ripped out to make way for two massive fuel tanks because in the world of the Road Warrior, gasoline is gold. The car looked like it had been through hell and back, which it had. This is the version of the Interceptor that most people picture in their heads. It's dirty, it's patched up, and it's fitted with a booby trap. Oh, and this time, the supercharger was real. Well, sort of. It was a functional blower, but it was set up in a way that wasn't actually providing a massive power boost. It was still more for the look than for actual performance gains, but hey, at least it was mechanically hooked up. It added to the raw, visceral feel of the sequel. The car's role in the Road Warrior is just as pivotal, but its fate is much more tragic. Its spectacular destruction in the film is a gut punch moment. Seeing this iconic vehicle torn apart was a powerful symbol that the old world and Max's last connection to it was truly gone forever. It cemented the car's legendary status. It wasn't just a car anymore, it was a fallen hero. But the legend didn't die there. The Interceptor's influence is everywhere. It has become the blueprint for the ultimate apocalypse survival vehicle. Go to any car show, especially one with a movie theme, and you're guaranteed to see at least one, if not several, fan-built replicas. People have spent years and fortunes meticulously recreating every detail, from the Concorde nose to the fake supercharger switch on the gear shifter. The dedication of these fans is a testament to the car's enduring appeal. Its impact has bled into other media too. Countless video games have paid homage to the Pursuit Special. Games like Fallout, Borderlands, and of course, the official Mad Max game feature vehicles that are either direct copies or heavily inspired by the Interceptor's design. It's the go-to reference for any car that needs to look tough, fast, and ready to survive the end of the world. It's become a cultural shorthand for vehicular badassery. Think about other famous movie cars. The DeLorean from Back to the Future is about time travel and science. Kit from Knight Rider is about futuristic tech. But the Interceptor? It's about raw, primal power and survival. It's not a friendly car. It's a weapon. It doesn't talk or have gadgets. Its only feature is a supercharger designed for one thing: insane speed. It taps into a very fundamental fantasy of being the lone wolf on an open road, with enough horsepower to outrun or outfight anything that comes your way. So, from a humble Australian muscle car bought on a tight budget, transformed with fiberglass, fake parts, and a whole lot of creative vision, the V8 Interceptor became one of the most recognizable and beloved cars in cinema history. It has a story of how practical effects and clever design can create something far more memorable than any CGI creation. It's a symbol of rebellion, of survival, and the undeniable coolness of a big, loud, black V8. It truly is the last of the V8 South, a legend of the silver screen that will continue to inspire gearheads and movie fans for generations to come. Long live the Pursuit Special! Thanks so much for watching. If you're a fan of iconic movie cars or Aussie muscle, hit that like button and let me know in the comments what your favorite movie car is. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the machines that made movie history. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching Nobody Drives.